So in the today's part, we are going to see the points that are nothing but principle of chain serving, technical terms used in chain serving, procedure of field work in chain survey, errors in chaining. So in the previous part, we have seen chaining and ranging. What are the duties of said leader, follower, how the chaining has been done, how the ranging operation has been carried out. Okay, so we will see one by one. So the first point is principle of chain serving. So as I told you that the principle of chain surveying is based on triangulation in which the entire area which is to be surveyed is divided into number of triangles and a network has been formed. Okay, so of which in suitable sites. So this means that the area to be surveyed is divided into a number of small triangles which should be well conditioned. And in chain surveying, the sides of the triangles are measured directly on the field by chain or tape, and no angular measurements are taken. And we are supposed to take a note that while plotting the triangles, we don't require any kind of angular measurements. Okay, so directly with the help of the chain or tape, we can measure the area. Okay, again, we are knowing that we can use the chain surveying or conduct the survey by making of the chain where when the area is a smaller one or the area which is to be surveyed is having a certain a less leveled or it is having a certain slope, okay, or it is a small scale map, is to be prepared, or when the well formation of the triangulation is been possible. And when the area is chain survey cannot be used when the said area to be surveyed is a larger one or when there are undulations, okay, and it is not possible to form a well conditioned triangles. Okay, so due to obstacles it becomes impossible to carry out the chain survey in such cases. So we'll see what are the technical terms used in the chain surveying or definitions one by one. So here you can see the area which is to be surveyed. Okay, so this is suppose the area which is to be surveyed. So this has been marked by certain stations A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, L, N, M. So at the extreme points A, B, C, D, E, these are nothing but your main survey stations. Then this F, G, okay, H, L are nothing but subsidiary stations. Okay, then BE is nothing but your baseline. Okay, and this entire AB, BC, CD, DE, and EA are nothing but your main survey lines. So which is covering the entire area which is to be surveyed. Okay, so we are supposed to take care that we are supposed to take the stations in such a manner that it will cover the entire area. So what do you mean by station? Starting with that, we'll see. So station is nothing but a point of importance at the beginning or at the end of a survey line. So which forms a important part. So where from where we can control the entire area. Okay, or we can have the control of which it is to be done over the survey line. So it has been marked at the starting point or at the end point of the survey line. Okay, so you can see suppose this is an again second area, okay, which is to be surveyed. So AB, BC, and CD and DA are nothing but main survey lines which are been joined by the triangle. So the main stations are been noted by a triangle. So A, B, C, D are nothing but the main survey stations. This BD is the baseline. AS2 is the check line. S1, S2 are the subsidiary stations. T1, T2 are nothing but your tie stations. Okay. So what do you mean by main stations? We'll see. Before that, what do you mean by service stations? So service stations are the points at the beginning and the end of the chain line. Okay. So they may also occur at any convenient position on the chain line. Okay. So as per their importance or where they are been marked, so as per that, that stations are been named as, okay. So that it might be main stations, subsidiary stations, or they might be tie stations. So main stations are nothing but they are taken along the boundary of an area. Okay, so which act as an controlling points. So they are called as main stations. So the line joining the main stations are called main survey lines. Okay, so AB, BC, CD, DA, which we have seen here. So these are nothing but main survey lines. That is AB, BC, CD, DA. Okay, and their main stations have been marked by a triangle. Okay. So the main survey lines should be covering the whole area as I told you to be surveyed, and the main stations are denoted by triangle with letters capital A, B, C, D, etc. Okay, so here you can get a clear idea again once again. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A are main survey lines, and whereas A, B, C, and D are the main stations. Okay, so next is the subsidiary stations. So stations which are on the main survey lines or any other survey lines, so that are called as subsidiary stations. So they act as a part in order to divide the entire area into smaller triangles, because we have seen that the principle of surveying is nothing but to work from whole to the part. So correspondingly, we are forming the dividing the entire area into smaller parts. Okay, into smaller triangles. So for checking the accuracy of triangles and for locating the interior details, we are locating the subsidiary stations. So these stations are denoted by circle with letters S1, S2, S3, etc. Okay. The next point is nothing but regarding tie stations. So these are also subsidiary stations taken on the main survey lines. So the lines joining the tie stations are known as tie lines, and the tie lines are taken to locate interior details. And same as that of your subsidiary stations, these are been also indicated by circles with letters T1, T2, T3, etc. So next, so that way regarding the station in which we are seeing main station, subsidiary station, and tie stations. The lines next is the survey lines. So we have seen the line which is joining the main stations are called as main survey lines. So you can see here AB, BC, CD, DA are the main survey lines. Then next part is the baseline. So the line on which the framework of the survey is built is known as the baseline. So it is the most important part of the survey. So generally the longest of the main survey line is considered as a baseline. So here you can see the longest distance is here BD, so which is been marked as a baseline. Okay, so that is regarding the baseline. So this baseline should be measured very carefully and accurately. Okay, so as I shown in the figure that BD is the baseline. Next is the check line. Okay, so the line joining the apex point of a triangle to some fixed points on its base are known as the check line. So here you can see correspondingly AS2 is nothing but the said check line. So it is taken to check the accuracy of the triangle. Sometimes this line also helps to locate the interior details. So in order to locate this interior, whatever are there details, so for that purpose, we are going with the check line. Okay, so in figure you can see AS2, CS1 are the said check lines. Next, tie lines. So again, a line joining the tie stations is termed as a tie line. Okay, T1, T2 are nothing but the tie stations. So the line joining that, it is called as tie line. Okay, so it is also used for marking the interior details which are far away from the main lines, and also to avoid the long offsets. Okay, and it can also serve as a check line. So T1, T2 are nothing but the tie line. So after knowing the concept of stations, lines, that is whether it is a survey line, main survey line, subsidiary, or check lines or tie lines. Okay, so one should know what is the procedure to be carried out in the field. Okay, during the change survey. So first one is the reconnaissance. Okay. So what do you mean by reconnaissance? So it is nothing but the preliminary survey. Okay. So where before starting of your any of the survey, the person who is going to do the work of the survey is known as your surveyor. So he should visit that place and should have a walk over the whole area to be surveyed in order to examine the ground and determine the possible arrangement of framework of survey. So directly by taking the instruments, he cannot visit and do the entire work. So for that purpose, he should have a visit there. So during this investigation, he should examine the intervisibility of the main survey stations. So he should know that whether the extreme points, so that are nothing but your main station points, are intervisible from each other or not. He should also ensure that the whole area is being enclosed by the main survey lines, and also it is possible to form well-conditioned triangles. Okay, so the surveyor who is going to visit should have the basic knowledge about this. He should also observe that various objects and boundary lines carefully and select the survey lines in such a manner that the objects can be located by short offsets. So otherwise, if he is only choosing main stations, main survey lines or subsidiary stations, and if the offsets are larger one, so there are chances of getting errors. So for that purpose, we will be requiring to provide the tie stations. Okay. And correspondingly, the baseline should preferably be taken through the center of the area and on a fairly level ground. Then after doing the reconnaissance survey, so which is nothing but preliminary survey, he should prepare a key plan or index sketch. Okay. So which will give a said approximate position of the objects. Okay. So where a particular building is located, where a particular part or electric pole has been located. So he should prepare a neat hand sketch showing the arrangement of the framework. So where is the particular main station will be there, subsidiary station, tie stations. So likewise, and he should name it. Okay. And so that it will be useful when doing the survey work. Okay. Then we'll be doing the selection of stations. Okay. So selection of stations is the main part. We have seen that. So as they should be intervisible from each other, then there should not be any obstacle between them. Then it should be easy to form the subsidiary triangle works. So according to that, we are supposed to select the station points. Then we'll mark the station points on the ground. Okay, so by making use of the wooden pegs. Okay, so these pegs are generally 2.5 centimeter square and 15 centimeter long, so which we have seen. Okay, and are having a pointed ends. So they are driven in the ground firmly. Okay, and correspondingly, that are being used so that can be traced. Okay, so whenever the survey work is to be carried out, then we are supposed to prepare the reference sketch or location sketch. Okay, so to take precautions against the station pegs being removed. Okay, so if somebody removes that station point, that is nothing but the wooden peg, in order to relocate it. Okay, so we should take the reference of the other objects, so which are being located nearby. Okay, so that should be located on your sketch. So that is nothing but location sketch. Okay, so it is nothing but a hand sketch of the station showing at least two measurements from some permanent objects. Okay, so correspondingly a reference point we are going to take it, and with respect to that we are going to relocate it if the wooden peg has been removed. Then taking measurements of survey lines and noting them in the field book. So whatever are the readings which you are going to take it of chaining, ranging. Okay, then magnetic bearings are being measured by prismatic compass. Then whatever are the linear measurements we are taking. So that should be noted in the field book, showing the offsets to the left or right according to their position. Then whatever is the distance of the survey line that is been ranged, chained. Okay. Then offsets of the field work. Okay. So that are being marked in the field book. Okay. So you will be having certain field book in which you are going to write down the field work. Okay. So this is the procedure to be followed in the field work while conducting the survey. chain survey. First one, reconnaissance. Then second one is preparing a key plan, which is also known as index plan or index sketch. Next, selection of stations, which should be intervisible from each other and without any obstacles should be there. Then we'll be marking the stations on the ground by making of the wooden pegs. Then prepare a location sketch or reference sketch. If somebody removes that wooden peg, so in order to relocate that main station points, you can have that with you so that you can relocate it. Then taking measurements of survey lines and noting in them in the field book. So this is the procedure. So now there are certain chances of errors in chaining. Okay. After doing the said work, there are certain chances. So there are various types of errors that are to be accumulated. Okay. So first is compensating errors, so which are also called as accidental errors. So following are the examples of such errors, that is incorrect marking of the end of a chain, then fractional part of a chain may not be correct through though total length is corrected. Okay. So that is nothing but you're dealing with your said compensating error. Then graduations in the tape may not be exactly same throughout. Okay. So this is dealing with the compensating errors, so which are accidental errors. So practically we can't tell that whatever is the work we are doing, so there not be any errors. So there are many chances that due to the fault in the instrument or due to the personal error, so that are nothing but dealing in the chaining operation. So first one is the compensating error. The next one is the cumulative errors. So these errors are always occur in the same direction, okay, in which we are doing the work, that is chaining work. Okay. So they are called as cumulative errors. Okay. So examples of such errors are bad ranging. So if the line is not a straight line, that is starting point and end points are not joined by a straight line, so correspondingly said there are chances of getting cumulative errors. Next, bad strengthening, erroneous length of chain. So whatever is the length of the chain, so if it is 20-meter and after measuring it by a tape or other measurement equipment, if it is getting different one, so that is nothing but your cumulative error. Okay. So always these errors are either positive or negative. Okay. So that are been carried in the forward direction. Okay. So that is regarding your cumulative errors. And there might be temperature variations. So your chain might change in the length also. So that is nothing but your cumulative errors. Again, variation in applied pull, then non-horizontality. Okay. So that was regarding your cumulative errors, so which are also called as systematic errors. Next one is nothing but personal errors, or which we called as personal mistakes. So errors occurring due to careless of the chainman, okay, who is going to carry the chain. So that are nothing but called as personal errors. So wrong reading, wrong recording, reading from wrong end of the chain. So that are nothing but your said personal errors. So these errors are serious errors and cannot be detected easily. So if you are conducting the survey work and at the while drawing the sheet, if it is noticed that we can't predict that where particular error has been occurred, so that it might be due to wrong taking reading or wrong recording. If the distance is 30.5 meter and you are recording only 30 meter or 29.5 meter only, so we cannot predict that error. Okay. So that are nothing but personal errors and care should be taken to avoid such errors. So these errors are common mistakes. So that is nothing but due to the displacement of the arrow, then miscounting of the chain, or erroneous in reading or recording. Okay. So these are nothing but the personal errors. So if such errors occur, we are supposed to apply certain corrections. So we are supposed to apply certain corrections, and after that we can make the certain corrections and find out the whatever is the correct length. So based upon that, we are going to solve various problems. If the measured length was 20 meter by the chain, suppose it was found out to be 100.10 meter, and if same the distance was been measured by 30-meter chain, it was found out to be 104 meter. So whatever is the error, that we are going to find it out, whether it is in 20-meter chain or whether it is in the 30-meter chain. Okay. So today we have discussed about the points, said field procedure, then correspondingly various points, station points, technical terms regarding whatever is to be followed, and whatever are the errors to be likely to be occurred in the said our chain serving. So that was nothing but cumulative error, then compensating errors, so which are accidental errors and personal errors. Okay. Okay, thank you.